Welcome back. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not going to break down a massive battle or a complex political scheme. Instead, we're zooming way in on one single person, a career soldier during one of the most famous moments in all of history. We're going to try and understand what it takes for a man of iron to completely change.
And that really is the central question for us today, isn't it? We're talking about a man who was literally forged in the fires of the Roman Empire, a man of absolute discipline and steel. So what on earth could possibly happen that would not just crack that exterior, but totally remake him from the inside out?
So, first things first, let's get a handle on who we're actually dealing with here. We need to set a baseline for what a Roman centurion was all about.
You gotta understand, a centurion wasn't just some soldier. These guys were the absolute backbone of the Roman legion. This isn't some noble playing war games. He's a career officer who clawed his way up through the ranks. His entire world, his entire being, is built on three things: order, discipline, and the undeniable power of Rome.
So just try to get inside this guy's head for a minute. He's pragmatic almost to a fault. He's seen everything, and I mean everything. Battle-hardened isn't just a cool phrase. It means he's probably desensitized to things that would horrify us. And unshakable? Yeah, because to him, the Roman way is the only way. This is not a man who gets carried away with emotions or spiritual ideas.
All right, so you've got this man of steel, and now let's drop him into his workplace. On this particular day, his job was just a routine execution.
Look, for the Romans, crucifixion was a pretty standard tool for keeping people in line. It was brutal, it was public, and it sent a message. So for the centurion in charge overseeing one was just another day at the office. A grim task for sure, but a task nonetheless. The goal was simple: get it done, keep order, and move on.
But this execution, it did not go according to plan. Three very specific things happened that day that just started to chip away, piece by piece, at this soldier's hardened view of the world. These are the turning points. The first thing was something huge, something cosmic. It was completely outside of his control and, more importantly, his understanding. We're talking about the darkness. Seriously, put yourself in his sandals. You're a Roman soldier. The sun is a symbol of power, maybe even a god to you, Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. And then, in the middle of the afternoon, it just goes out. This isn't just a cloudy day. We're talking about a deep, chilling darkness. The most basic rule of the universe, that the sun shines during the day, is suddenly broken. That's the first crack in his reality. Okay, so the sky has gone wrong. As if that wasn't enough to shake his world, the ground itself decides to join the party. The second crack, the earthquake. For a Roman, solid ground wasn't just dirt. It represented the stability and the permanence of the empire itself. And now it's heaving and shaking. So think about it. Everything that's supposed to be reliable, the sun in the sky, the earth under his feet, is in total chaos. His sense of order is getting attacked from every possible angle. But maybe the biggest shock wasn't from the sky or the ground. Maybe it was the human element. The third, and maybe the final crack, was the way this specific prisoner died. This is what I find so fascinating. This centurion had probably seen dozens, maybe hundreds of crucifixions. He knew the script. He expected screaming, cursing, defiance, desperate pleas for mercy. It was the ugly, predictable drama of a horrible death. But not this time. Instead, he hears words of forgiveness. He sees composure, a man who seems to be in command of the situation, even while being executed. For a guy who's seen 1,000 ways to die, this one just didn't fit. So you've got this man of pure iron logic, and he's watching the very laws of nature and human behavior just shatter right in front of him. And all of this pressure builds and builds to one single incredible moment. So what do? The sky isn't right. The ground isn't stable. The way people are supposed to act in the face of death is turned completely upside down. Everything you thought was true has just been proven wrong in a few short hours. What's left? What does a man of pure logic do when his entire reality just collapses? He makes a declaration. And it's not a military report. It's not a tactical assessment. It's a confession. It's his brain trying to find a new framework, a new explanation for a world that the old rules just can't explain anymore. It's a total 180-degree reversal of his entire worldview. And so, that brings us to the end, and it leaves us with one last really important question that I want you to think about. We've laid out the evidence. It was a series of shocks, one after another.
each one chipping away at his reality. So, which one do you think was the final blow? What was the real tipping point for this man of steel?
Was it the big, loud, terrifying stuff, the cosmic signs, the darkness, the earthquake that just overloaded his pragmatic brain? Or was it something quieter, the unnerving dignity of this man in the face of unimaginable pain? Or maybe neither one of those was enough on its own. Maybe it was just the combined, crushing weight of all of it happening at once. What do you think really changed him? Now that's a question worth thinking about.